We have all been there. You set out to make that beautiful, vibrant red curry you see in your favorite restaurant, but somehow you end up with a murky brown stew that burns your mouth. The root of this frustration usually comes from how we read recipes. When a recipe calls for 1 teaspoon of red chili powder, we tend to assume there is only one kind of red chili powder in the world. But professional chefs are not dumping mountains of spicy powder into their pots just to get the beautiful color. Instead, they are using entirely different varieties of chili peppers. Learning to spot the difference between these varieties is the single most important step to bridge the gap between struggling at home and creating professional, restaurant-quality food. Every chili pepper contains 2 very important chemical compounds. First, there is capsaicin, which creates the physical burning sensation on your tongue. Second, there are carotenoids, which are the natural pigments that give the pepper its deep red color. In the biology of these plants, heat and color act like enemies. They exist in a strict, inverse relationship. This diagram shows exactly how that works. Notice how, as a chili is bred to have a higher capsaicin concentration for more heat, its natural carotenoid levels drop. The color literally fades from a vibrant red to a dull brown. Because of this biological trade-off, a single, generic chili powder cannot physically give you both a fiery burn and a beautiful crimson color. You have to choose. Let's look at the heavyweight champion of pure heat. These are standard red chilies, often grown in the hot, dry regions of Guntur, India. These standard chilies pack an intense punch, hitting up to 50,000 Scoville heat units. But because all of that plant energy goes directly into creating heat, the powder they produce is a muted, brownish red. Reach for this jar specifically when you need a sharp, immediate sting of spice, like when making fiery pickles or tempering oil for a dal. Now let's travel north to the cooler, high-altitude valleys of the Himalayas. This environment gives us the exact opposite, the Kashmiri Mirch. The Kashmiri chili is incredibly mild, sitting at just 1,000 to 2,000 Scoville units, but its color density is exceptionally high, grinding down into a bright, neon crimson powder. This incredibly vibrant powder is the absolute secret behind the rich red gravies in iconic dishes like butter chicken. You can add large tablespoons of it to build an incredible color, and your dinner guests will not break a sweat. To put it simply, the standard Guntur chili is an ingredient for your tongue, while the Kashmiri chili is an ingredient for your eyes. But what if you want a little bit of both? For that, we look to the state of Karnataka and a pepper known as red gold, the Byadgi chili. You can recognize it immediately. When we compare a smooth Kashmiri pod to a Byadgi pod, you can see the Byadgi is deeply shriveled and wrinkled. Those deep wrinkles are actually a biological indicator, telling us the pepper is packed with rich natural oils and sugars. Chemically, the Byadgi pepper sits perfectly in the middle. It gives you a moderate, friendly heat, around 8,000 to 15,000 Scoville units, while maintaining a premium, deep blood red color. This balance makes it the absolute hero of South Indian home cooking. It gives everyday dishes like sambar their rich hue and gentle kick. If you don't have Byadgi chilies in your pantry, professionals use a simple layering trick. They mix 80% Kashmiri powder for the brilliant color and 20% standard powder for a controlled, manageable heat. The moment you abandon the myth that red powders can be swapped 1-to-1, you stop guessing. You finally gain control over the exact look and taste of your food. Because bright red spices are so highly prized, the market is unfortunately full of fake products. Unscrupulous sellers will swap out natural pepper pigments for synthetic dyes, or even add ground brick dust to bulk up the weight. Fortunately, there is an easy way to check your spice. This diagram shows the water flotation test. When you drop a spoonful of pure chili powder into a glass of water, it will float on the surface because of the natural oils present in the pepper. Watch what happens with an adulterated powder. Synthetic dyes will immediately streak a neon red down into the water, while heavy fillers like brick dust will sink straight to the bottom. To protect your authentic, pure spices, always keep them in an airtight container inside the refrigerator. The cool temperature stops the essential oils from oxidizing and turning that beautiful red into a dull brown. Cooking is not about blindly following a list of ingredients. When you understand the biological balance between heat and color and take the time to protect the purity of your spices, you go from simply mixing powders to painting a culinary canvas.